Hello everyone, welcome back to the Coding Explorer. This is Pradyumna and let us continue our exploration on the world of software. Before we begin, I hope that you watched my last video on loops in Python, and also you have seen the video in which we create the awesome project on stone paper scissors. And if you've not tried this out, just try it before we continue. So let me give you the answer for the homework I had given in the class 6. So I hope that you've done the homework. So let us begin. I'll create a new file named homework.py. So let us begin. So first let us just store the values. u1 points is equal to 0, u2 points is equal to 0. So each of them will have that. Then we start a while loop, infinite loop. In this while loop, so let us just break it before it goes any further. So let's just ask c is equal to, we'll make the code of all the checking. Just for now we'll just make the continuation part. Do you want, so that code will be above this. Do you want to continue yn if c is equal to n. We'll convert this to lowercase, then break the loop. We can also print user1 points, user1 points plus string of u1 points and user2 points is user2 points. So what we'll do is we'll just create user1 chances is equal to 0, user2 chances also equal to 0. So whenever this runs again and again, it will come back to 0, so that when the user guesses, it will properly work. So first we'll ask u1no, which is the user1 number, input user1, enter the number. So we'll take that number, we have to convert it into an integer form, then while true. So we'll be asking the user 2 on how many chances and we'll also increase the number of chances that he takes. We'll increase it at the first point itself. So here we actually increase the second person's number. So because if he guesses at the first point itself, then it would have no meaning if he has taken no chances. So since it's 0, we're gonna add 1, and then we ask u2 guess is equal to integer of input user2 guess the number. So after asking that, we'll just check if user guess if user guess is equal to u1 of number, so if it's the same, then we'll just break the loop, and if we want we can also say correct guess. So we say correct guesses. So we can also tell how many chances they took. Print you took plus string of u2 chances. Now again we do the same thing, but here we instead of the first person, the second person gives the number and the first person has to guess it. So just for you to understand, I'll just put comments over here. So comments are not run by the program, as you remember. So we'll just write user1, and then here it will be user2. So this will become user2 number, which number the user2 gives. Then you increase the chances of the first person, u1 guess, int user1 guess the number, here it should be user2. So if u1 guess is equal to u2 number, so it literally means that the first person guess, like he guesses here, he checks if the number given by the second user is the same. Correct guess you took, so it should be user1 chances because the first person is guessing over here. And after all this, we just can print who won. If u1 chances is greater than u2 chances, so user second has taken lesser chances, so he wins. Print user2 wins. Now if user2 takes more chances, we can make this elif, so user1 wins. So user2, and we can also have to give the points. So here we u2 points plus is equal to 1, so we increase it by 1. Then u1 points plus is equal to 1, so we are increasing the points based on how many chances they have taken. Now if this both of it's an equal number, then say print it is a tie, and we can increase or we can leave it like that only, so that no points increase. So what happens here to understand is that it starts this loop. Each time the number of chances will become 0, then the user 1 gives a number and the user 2 has to keep guessing the number until he comes to the correct number. So it will be correct guess, you took how many chances, and it will break this loop, only this loop. Then the user 2 has to give a number, then the user 1 has to guess that number, then according to that it will say when he's correct, it will say you're correct, and then it will show how many chances they took. Now it will say who won, and then it will ask do you want to continue. If they say no, then it will give how many points each of them took. So let us just run and check. So enter the number, I'll just give 1 4 2 1. So it's telling the user 2 took 3 chances. So the first user took 4 chances, so the the first person who played, that is the user 2, wins. So that is why, do you want to continue? I just give n. So let us begin with today's class. We'll be learning about dictionaries in Python. Dictionaries are a type of data types. They are similar to lists and tuples, but here you can store key value pairs. So they are actually similar to the word dictionary, like where you store a word and its meaning, but here you can associate any types of data types, like you can have an integer type and a string. So here the syntax to declare a dictionary is the variable which is equal to, and in curly brackets we give the key. So you can see that these first ever elements that are there, all these called are keys, and then whatever is the value for them, which is associated using this symbol, which is the colon symbol, and then they're all separated using this comma. So you can see that 1 is associated with the letter format of 1, and you have to put a comma and then give 2, so you can associate as you want, and you by putting a comma you can continue and join more together. But here you cannot repeat the same keys, but you can repeat the values. So you can have 1, and again after 3 you cannot have comma 1, but always you can do like 4, which is associated with the letter 1. So the values can repeat, but the keys cannot be repeated. So let us learn about the functions that can be performed on a dictionary. So if we give a of whatever key is there, that is already there in this dictionary. So if we give a of 1, so in this bracket if we just give integer 1, it will retain, it will give us back the value, the data format of 1. And here you can see that a of key is equal to value. This is used to add any more values if you want to add, or you want to edit something. So if we give a of 2 is equal to letter format of 4, then it will change, and instead of TOW it will become FOUR. But if something is not already there, you can give a of 4 is equal to FOUR. It will automatically be changed, and it will be updated over here. So next we learn about a clear function. So we also I had told you we had to associate, then we had to use this dot over here. So it is used to empty the dictionary wholly. You will not have any keys or values. Then a dot keys means it will give the list of all the keys that are there. So here it will give 1 comma 2 comma 3. You will not have these, so it will be in the list format. So you will have 1 2 3 4, and if more if you have. Then if you give a dot values, so in our example you will get 1 2 3, so you'll get a list of all the values that are there in your dictionary. So it will become only one, only this will come. So let us start creating a program. We'll be creating something very awesome today. So we'll be creating a Morse code translator. So it will be similar to this. So if you give the words, you can have multiple words. So if you give the word, it will get converted into Morse code format, and you will also make sure that you ask the user how many times they want to know. So you'll be using a dictionary in which you'll have the keys of all these letters, and then you'll have their values in Morse code format. I'll provide the dictionary in the description. You can just copy paste it. So let us begin. I'll create a new project. I'll name it as class 7 dictionary. So I'll just create it. So I got this dictionary from a website. I'll just provide the dictionary in the description. You can just copy paste it. So here I've just given a line space so that it's oriented and not goes ahead. So you can see that A is associated with the Morse code form of this, B is associated with it. So all of these values, so here you can see that A is a key and B is also a key, and whatever they associated is the values, and they're all separated using this comma. So now let us just create the Morse code translator. So let us begin. So we ask the user whatever they want to give. So let us just ask user in in is equal to input of give the sentence, or you can just give enter the sentence. So now what we have done is we have taken letters, many letters are there. So we have to iterate to all of this and iterate to whatever the user has given, and then we have to substitute it to what their Morse code format is. So what we are going to do is, so we'll just iterate through this user in. So for letter in user in, so it is very similar to how we iterate to a list. So we have to also convert this into uppercase, because you can see that all this is in the form of uppercase. So we have to convert this into uppercase. So we get this. What we do is we store a variable over here, translation is equal to just a blank string. It will not contain anything. Now we are going to add it to this. So we'll get, we can just say Morse form is equal to, so we take our dictionary, which is the Morse code dictionary. So what we do is find the value of this key. So our key would be the letter. So it will iterate to each of these letter. It will come to Morse, it will get converted. So you remember that in square brackets, if we give this, then it will give us what is there, what is the value of this key. So we get this, which is the Morse form. Now we have to add this to the translation. Plus is equal to Morse form. So we know that this translation is blank, so it will iterate again, it will add this. So it is similar to how we use to an integer. So if we give plus is equal to, this Morse form gets added to this. So if it's A and the Morse form is B, it will become AB. So after iterating and we give whatever we have, so we just print this. So we just say string, so we just say whatever the user has given, so it's already in string user in plus. So if they had given letter, or just they have given A, then it will say A in Morse code is. So A in Morse code is. So we'll just add the translation over here. So whatever they have given, it gets converted. So it iterates to whole of it, and it gets the Morse code form of it, then adds it to the user in. So the translation. After translation, after iterating to this, it will print this in the form in Morse code is whatever is the translation we got. So let us just run and check. Run, enter the sentence. I love coding. So let us just check. So you can see that there is an error. So it says key error of space. It means that this thing, this key doesn't exist over here, so it's not able to get its value. So you can see that space doesn't exist. So in Morse code you do not have space translation. So what we do is we check if letter is equal to a space. So if it's a space, then we just add this plus is equal to a space. So you add it, but then again you don't want it to continue, so we just give the continue statement. So it stops the iteration and then goes to the next iteration. So let's just run. Let me just give it. So now you can see that it runs without an error and it's perfectly translating it into Morse code. So if you want, you can make it such that it runs forever as we had made for the other things. So what we do here, we put all of this, let us just take it, Control X, while true, so it will be asking forever, and of course you have to also stop it. So we just ask C is equal to input, do you want to continue? So we can just say yes, y or n. We have to convert it into lowercase. If C is equal to n, so we just break the loop. So here we do not give anything after this, so you can just run it, enter the sentence, I love coding. So it will become this, do you want to continue? Yes, enter the sentence, I'll give Python is interesting. So it gets converted, and here you can see that it's always capital letters because it gets converted over here. So let us just stop it. So it stops and it breaks the loop. So this was easy, and we are going to learn more interesting things using dictionaries in Python. Before you leave, let me tell you that all the code we did today is put up in GitHub. I've provided the link to this in the description. So you have to go to class 7 dictionary and you'll find the code in the main.py. So if you have any doubts, you can always come here and check. So let me give you today's homework. So you're supposed to create a app in which you have description of 5 games. So you should have the game as a key, the game name, and then you should have the value as the description of that game, and then you have to ask the user of what description they want, and then you have to give the description of that game. So today I'll ask you a riddle instead of a fun fact, so this is going to be very interesting. So let me ask the riddle. So a panda went to an hotel, and then after eating food it shot the waiter and it went, so it left the hotel. When the police got it, they asked why did it kill the waiter. So the panda said, please check in the dictionary. So what could be there in the dictionary? You can find the answer to that from this image. So in the dictionary it was said that panda eats, shoots and leaves. So it meant that it eats and then it shoots and then it leaves wherever it was. So thank you everyone. I hope you liked the riddle. Please learn, like, subscribe and share. And if you have any doubts, please ask it in the comments. I'll respond it as fast as possible. And click on the bell button for my next videos. We'll be learning about functions in Python and how to use them.